Hello everyone, I'm Xiao Gang. This is an additional chapter we recorded because I found that many of you might be learning with UE 5.5, but now the latest UE 5.6 has been released. There are some differences, so we'll explain them to you. If you run this code in version 5.4, it's fine, but there are two details you need to pay attention to here. And here, in its parent class inside BeginPlay, there is a Super BeginPlay. Then, inside this resale BeginPlay, this is your actual blueprint. The function that executes, called Bluetooth of pins implement for event, actually the blueprint. Function here takes priority, the one you wrote in C++ here. I should have mentioned this to you before. If you put this code above, then C++ will execute first. So this will cause us to need to add a simple delay here. Or you can change the code order yourself. This is a detail that might cause mistakes. Then the second question is, we need to look at this GetOwnedGameplayTags. So this is an interface, and here we pass, say by default. If you execute it with 5.4, it works fine here. Then we can observe, this is UFUNCTION BlueprintCallable category. This corresponds to that. Now let's switch to 5.5. Okay, this is the 5.5 project. If you call GetOwnedGameplayTags here, you'll find that what you get is this interface. Obviously, this interface is different from this one, right? So after we double-click into it, after double-clicking into it, you'll find it's a process child, blueprint library. Then we find it here, the gate we clicked into. Go and you'll find it's right here, and there's a long string of comments written here. And in the end, it still calls GetOwnedTag through this interface. Let me show you. Let's go back. Let's go back to this interface. Okay, you will notice that there is no U function here, so it is here. Due to version requirements, it makes some small adjustments. So the most important thing to note is version differences. There's also a comment here. It will tell you that during the blueprint compilation process, possibly for safety reasons, there may be cache data or something. So some modifications have been made here. Just take some notes. We can ignore it. This will cause that if you are here, this is the level blueprint. Ignore it. If it is an actor, if you do not pass this self, you must manually pass this actor. You cannot let it default to self. If it defaults to self, it will cause this function to have no correct way to find the corresponding ONs. Gameplay tag. Therefore, you must pass something like yes here. For example, if you are in blueprint, but the level blueprint is not quite suitable. That's what it means. In 5.4, it actually works like this. If you do it this way, then such code in 5.5 will be completely okay and runnable. If you do not do this and let it use the default, then there are some bugs causing it. This will cause him to not actually pass in the target object. Okay, so these are some contents we need to record for everyone. And this gameplay tag is very important. When you develop projects later, basically all advanced engine features will use this tag to simplify the development process. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you everyone.